guys, that's the cornrows done now pretty much. What I'm going to do when it comes to a straight hair, I don't kind of like a bit of the hard the thicker kind of looking leave-in in moisturizing conditioner, simply because it will get a bit sticky. So what I intend to use when it comes to doing straight hair, that's just the kind of leave-in conditioner I do use to spray. I used it before before I start the cornrows, and I do use it again when I finish, just to keep the hair all nice and moisture. So that's me spraying on it. Basically what I do is just spray through the scalp, and that hopefully help the scalp to remain soft and also help the hair to remain moisturized. Now what I'm going to do today so far is one more satin twist I've showed you, which I'm going to use, but there is something I actually want to show you guys, and hopefully you learn something through it. I'm going to show you what to do and what not to do when it comes to that kind of braid. So if you watch me out, when it comes to do a twist like that with a thicker cornrows like that, the last thing you want to do is start your crocheting by putting the crochet underneath like that, underneath the cornrows. Alright guys, here we go. This is an example of a bad crochet. Bringing it underneath and then doing it this way. Now as you can see, as soon as I left the braid goes, it went loose already, and the reason for that is because the cornrows himself is thicker, the braid is bigger as well. So that is what you shouldn't do. That's how it looks, and I'll show you what you should do when it comes to things like that. So here we go. Because the cornrows is thick back up this size, and then your braid is also bigger, so what you have to do, instead of putting the hook underneath, you wouldn't do that. Instead of going underneath upward, you don't do that. That's the wrong one. So the right one is getting your crochet, I'll take it from this side, going from upside down and bringing your braid out. Now when it comes to that side again, don't go underneath that way, and the reason you shouldn't go is because the cornrows himself is bigger. So what you want to try and do is doing the correct thing by going upside down with your crochet that way, but taking just a small amount of the hair. And this is what you will do. You take small amount instead of going underneath, which is the correct position, going underneath, but going under the cornrows. You actually, instead you're taking a small portion of your hair, which is this way. Sorry guys, I hope you can see what I'm doing. And then get your braid through it. I'm just trying for the camera to see what is going on. So you'll be getting it this way. Closing it back. I didn't cut it properly. Close it back and then pull it this way. Now sometimes if the braid is small enough, I would just use the same hook and just hold it, but I don't need it because these are bigger braids. So all I do is simply open it and then pull the hair out of it and get it done. Pretty much as easy as it be. And if you take a look to between this and the one I've just done, there's a huge difference. The bad one is the one you use the crochet going underneath completely, bringing the braid out and tighten it. And the result of that, you end up having, once you let the braid go, it just goes loose. The good one is the one you will take the crochet from upside down, but not going underneath the cornrows, going slightly upper and taking just a smaller section, bring with the braid out, and then eventually knot it, and then you end up with a nice firm kind of braid. So I hope you can see the two differences. That's the bad one. Even when I pull it to tight it and I left it go, it goes loose. And this one, I don't need to pull it, it's there and it's sitting nice and firm. If you doesn't know and you want to do it, that's the way you should do it. Get your crochet from up. If your cornrows are bigger and your braids are bigger, even if the cornrows is not really big, to be quite honest, just always aim to just take a small section in the middle of the cornrows instead of going underneath. It can sometimes be very sore when you go in underneath, especially with those with afro hair. If your hair hasn't been relaxed and then you try and go underneath like that, it really can be sore and it really can get messy and you end up with the bad result. So always aim to get your crochet facing down like that, and putting it right in between the cornrows that you've laid out, and then bringing your braid out and tight it from going that upward way, and then therefore you end up with nice looking cornrows. And that particular style is actually, that way of doing as well is actually pretty much nice when you're doing it from the bottom, because then when you try and lift the hair, nobody can barely tell that this was you've cornrowed before you crochet it, because it just looks like as if you've just braided from the roots. This one, which is the bad one, going from underneath up like that and pulling the hair downward and knotting it, the result of it is what you are seeing. I'm tightening and pulling it and it goes back loose. But the one that goes up, picking it from down and bringing it up and tight it, you don't need to pull it much. You're having a firmer kind of twist or braid. So hopefully guys, I hope you've seen the differences, and I hope you can try and make a good use of that. Another thing as well when it comes to the front, which I will show you, you know, when you're doing crochet braid, you intend to do lay cornrows, and if you try to get the hair taken from this way around, I'm giving you an example, and bring it out, yeah, there's no problem with that. It would come out like a cornrows and no problem. There you go, that's me doing it. It comes out like that, just like the way it should. But the bad thing with that, if you're trying to lift the hair all up, because you've picked the hair from this way around and bringing it out, when you lift it up, it just doesn't look like people can notice easily that you've actually had like something like cornrows underneath before you put your crochet. So my advice, this is the one I did from the opposite side, and I will get another twist to show you the other, what you should do with my advice. My advice with this, when it comes to the front, instead of you going this way around, right, or this way around, I advise you to go from this side, going yet again from upper side, which you can see the crochet, not this side but upper side. You can aim to do this side if you are trying to let the hair sit like this all the time, but if you ever trying to lift the hair, up, then the technique of your crochet should be this way, and I'll show you the differences. So you're bringing your hook out. I'm just trying for the camera to see what I'm doing and getting it closed. And then once you close it, as you can see it, you pull it out, and then eventually twist it down. And if you take a look to what I've just done, comparing to this is sitting this side while the knot of this one is facing here. So if you are lifting it up, you hold it all up, people would know, you would think that you've actually had a braid done. But if it's done going that way around, then the knot is sitting in the middle, and therefore if you're lifting it up, you're not having a nice look. You can see the two differences. This one have a round finishing while this doesn't. So my advice when it comes to the front, get your hook, your crochet from upside, from forward going down, pick your hair, pull it out from this angle, and then tight it eventually, and you end up with a nice round finishing. Okay guys, so that's the bad one. We don't go with that, we go with this technique. So don't do the one that I just removed, do this technique, crochet going down, bringing it out and knotting it, and then you have a round finishing.